In today's lecture, we will go further in lesson number 1. We already covered about the areas of computer in which we can use it, like many areas we studied, and after that we will come on what is the combination which make a complete computer, that is hardware and software. Hardware, I told you that hardware are the physical parts of the computer which we can touch, like motherboard, monitor, keyboard, mouse, printer, and CPUs, right? And ICs called integrated circuit, you can say, are all are the examples of hardware, right? Then CPU chip is the most important processing device, which is a part of the hardware, which I which I saw you in the classroom also, right? That was very small part of silicon. Next is hardware. After hardware, next is software. What is software? Software is the collection of some commands. When we collect some commands, it's create a program, and when we collect some program, it creates a software, right? So software के अंदर we can further divide it in like operating system. What is operating system? I told you that as a principal in the school is very important part of the institute, and everything is controlled by him or her. In the same way, in computer, operating system controls everything, right? Uh, any command taken by the computer and processing on it and give the answer or result on the processing is automatically covered or controlled by the operating system. And we have so many types of operating system nowadays, like Unix, Linux, Windows, Android, and Macintosh. There are a lot of operating systems which we can use according to the hardware of our computer or our mobile phone, right? Then we have two types of operating systems. Very quick review I'm giving to you. Two types of operating system. First was a CUI, character user interface, in which we just can use uh, only commands by writing with the help of keyboard, right? There was no use of mouse. But nowadays we are using GUI, means graphical user interface. It has perfectly use of the computer, and all the commands can be controlled or can be functioned by the mouse and keyboard both. Okay, now we are coming on uh, functions of a computer. As I told you that uh, we have four types of functions basically. Number one, input. Second is processing. Third is storage, and fourth is output. We have some examples of it with us. Number one, just like a car running on road, this is the you can say case or a situation. And then in this case, petrol and diesel, or nowadays like CNG, are the input, right? Second, in processing, engine will start working with aid of petrol, diesel, or CNG, and the what will be the output? Car starts running. uh, in very earlier classes, we always told you that uh, like a pencil, when you want to sharp it, when you insert the pencil inside the sharpener, it is input. When you start uh, sharpen it, it is you can say processing. And when you take out the sharp pencil from the sharpener, it is output. In the same way, we can take an very common example, very common example. What is it? This is uh, washing clothes. When you put some dirty clothes into the washing machine, it is input, and when washing machine start to wash the clothes, it is processing, and when you bring the clean clothes from the washing machine, it is output. Like, okay, I think you are very well understood that concept. Now the basic organization of a computer. Now these things we can study it in detail. Number one, input. Students, when we use some input devices to enter our commands or to give our command to the computer, it will call input devices or input unit. In input unit, we can include some most common input devices like keyboard, mouse. You can add in mic, right, or scanner. You can also add, right. So with the help of we can input something into the computer or give the command to the computer is called input unit or input devices. Second is central processing unit. As its name uh, clears the meaning of it, central means in between. Uh, in between means between the input and output, right? It is central. Processing means it is working on something or given data by us, and unit means area. Then this is the central area which is used for processing, right? So CPU is the main unit of a computer. It controls all the internal and external devices of a computer and perform arithmetic and logical operations, right now. So a CPU is very small and is referred to as a microprocessor. Okay, so I uh, show you this in the class. So I am taking very less time to explain it. Its speeds we can measure in megahertz. It is very important because everything we can measure, but when we are talking about the speed of computer or speed of CPU, central processing unit, it always measured in megahertz, MHz. Now the output devices, it is the output devices which is responsible to display the result on it, and all the devices which we used in output unit the are called output devices, like monitor, printer, speaker, correct now. So we can have some new name or very common name of monitor, that is VDU, visual display unit, right? So video display unit also display input which is a user enter through input device. So we can take it in both sides, in input device as well as in output devices. Okay, so uh, these are the this is the diagram of in which we compare a human being to a computer according to the uh, component of a computer. Like suppose in computer we have input device, input unit. First of all, in input unit we use some input devices like keyboard, mouse, scanner, mic, etc. But in human being, what is the input uh, which are the human parts or body parts which can receive inputs like eyes, nose, ears, mouth, sometime our skin when we want to touch something and feel, right? Then memory unit. What is memory unit? In memory unit, in computers, we have three parts of our CPU. First is memory unit, second is ALU, yani arithmetical and logical unit, and the third is control unit, means CU. Then MU, ALU, and CU. What are the different functions of it in computers? Memory unit always stores the instructions and store the all the results as well. In ALU, it can perform some arithmetical or logical you can say problems, right? uh, if we have some arithmetical and logical problems, it can be handled, it always handled by the ALE unit, right? And third is control unit. Control unit always control all the functions which we perform with memory unit and arithmetical and logical unit, right? Then in human being, arithmetic and logical operations on the data are performed by the brain only. We have one part to perform all these things, to perform all these things. These are human brain. Next is control unit. Control unit uh, in human being, our brain controls everything. Means in human being, main CPU is our brain, right? Only input device is different. And output, what is output? When we cross the, when we cross the limit, when we cross everything from the central processing unit and get a result, it always shows on output unit, output devices. Okay. Output unit. After processing, the output is displayed on the monitor. Output is the form of soft copy or hard copy. Like if you want to see something, it always works on or show on monitor. Or sometimes when we want to get its hard copy, then we have printer for it. We can take printout on it, right? And after that, if we want to listen something, we have speakers, right? So these are the output devices, and these we can include in output unit. But in human being, we have output like voice, our actions, right? So these are the our these output uh, parts we can use for it, right? So we can compare a human being with the complete computer system. Means we can say our computer system is totally based on human being, right? Then let us understand the basic organization of a computer with the help of a block diagram. You can see this diagram on your screen. Input unit, data instructions. This is the area where we input our commands, we give our commands to the computer. Okay, then all the commands will go inside the CPU. This is our CPU, and these are the three different you can say uh, areas, three three different areas. These are control unit, ALU, and MU, which I told you before 2 minutes, right? And this is the output unit. Okay, students, this was the basic function of it. So CPU and its component. Now take a detailed look, detailed view of it. Number one, memory unit. This is memory unit. Then arithmetical and logical unit. Third is control unit, right? First, memory unit. Memory unit, the memory unit is the principal storage of the computer. It stores both data and instructions. We have two types of memory unit, right? Memory can be classified into two types. Number one is internal memory, and then next is external memory. We will cover only internal memory today, right? I am repeating this lesson because on that time when you were in schools, some students were absent. Okay, for them, I am repeating this lesson. So, and on that time, if any confusion was there, then you can clarify in these lectures. Okay, beta. So, okay, now come on the point again. Internal memory. In internal memory, we have two parts of it. Number one, RAM, and second is ROM. What is RAM? What is RAM? Random access memory. I told you that as you use your study table for open your books and do your work, in the same way in computers, we have RAM uh, device which is inserted uh, always in motherboard of the computer. I show you that also, right? So in computer, RAM is a memory, but it is a volatile memory. Means it is not permanent, it is temporary. whenever you type something or you open any file in the computer, it always open first in RAM. But RAM, I told you, it is a volatile memory, means it is not a permanent memory, it is a temporary memory. Then whenever you switch off your computer, the data which you open in RAM automatically deleted, right? And RAM always cleans itself, right? So RAM, random access memory. Why we use RAM? Because always we can't open original file of the computer. In RAM, computer plays a trick with us that when we call any file or open any file or do something new into the computer, it always opens in a RAM, but in the form of duplicate file, right? I told you earlier that uh, this is the basic concept of computer, to use RAM, because we all know that RAM automatically deleted when computer is switched off. Okay, beta. Then if we send the original file into the RAM, then our work, our hard work, our you can say uh, uh, all work will deleted, right? But to save our work, we always, a computer always sends a duplicate file, right? Now uh, blackboard एग्जाम्पल हम ले सकते हैं, like a blackboard. Whenever your teacher explains something, he or she use blackboard, but after the completion of the lecture, they clear the blackboard. In the same way, RAM is used, right? So types of RAM. In the earlier stage, there was DRAM, dynamic random access memory. Okay, one thing more, in RAM we can write and read both in RAM. Okay, so first type was DRAM, dynamic random access memory. It stores data temporarily. Every RAM stores data temporarily, every. Okay, now SDRAM, dynamic random access memory, it stores data temporarily as the data is lost when the power supply is suspended. It was the same RAM that was I explained before 2 or 3 minutes, right? But the next step was SRAM, static random access memory. It was fast and expensive. ये थोड़ा सा कॉस्टली था, एंड it was fast than DRAM. It means dynamic random access memory. It does not need to be refreshed like DRAM to retain information. It loses data when power is turned off. Look, students, in DRAM, we have to refresh it again and again. I am talking about DRAM. But in SRAM, there was no need to refresh it, means F5 button again and again, because automatically, it was automatically refreshed itself. So its speed was fast than DRAM. Next is combination of S and D, means SDRAM, synchronized dynamic random access memory. What was new in it? It uses a synchronized interface to transmit large amount of data at high speed. What it means? It this kind of RAM always synchronize, means uh, make data in a sequence and send or receive data in a sequence, so that speed automatically get high, right? It improves the efficiency of a computer as data is delivered in a shorter duration, because the speed of it, right, it increase the or improves the efficiency of a computer. Next was DDR. Nowadays we are using it, double data rate memory. What it means? It means like your side roads with GT road. Like if you have some four-way with the main road, then we can divide the traffic, right now. In the same way, in RAM, before DDRAM, before DDR, double data rate memory. Before it, we have only two ways. One way to send the message, and another way, or another, you can say, wire is used to is used to is used to receive the message, right? But in DDR, it was doubled, means two wires were assigned to send the message and two for receive the message. In this way, speed automatically doubled, like a high speed RAM like DDR2, DDR3, DDR4 are used with faster processor like i3, i3, i5 and i7. So students, I am ending my lecture here. In our next lecture, we will cover ROM and our external memories. Okay, now if you want to ask any question, you can ask. Otherwise, I am going to end this meeting. Any question, if you have, you can ask, beta. Anyone? Do you have any query, beta? Please let me know.
No, sir.
Okay. Two more students have to confirm me about it. Two more students.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
okay.
sir.
Okay, beta. Stay at home. Please be safe
No, sir.
and have a nice day. I am ending this meeting now.